What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Manga Madhouse, the channel where I, Darian, take you through my manga collection journey. If you want to join an amazing community of people who love manga, who love anime, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. And don't forget, if you haven't already, to join the Discord, as it's free for the first 100 people. And it's filling up fast, so make sure you go ahead and join the Discord. Like I said, we're going to be talking about a dark side of manga. This is just me kind of talking to you guys just about my past experiences in ordering manga and just getting manga in general, as this is a new hobby for me still, kind of, maybe, not really. It's been almost a year. But there are some things that I feel like people see the collections and people see like the hauls, and just not just me, of anybody you see on YouTube, but there's a lot of bad stuff that happens as well. And bad, not as in, at least not for me, nothing life changing or nothing that would ruin my love for doing this or reading manga or anything like that. Nothing of the sort. It's just more so there are some things, and I've just now noticed this One Piece thing is in the way. I just finished recording another video, so maybe I'll move that. It's just more so there are some things that happen behind the scenes when you get, the process. And I'm really making this video not to expose any industry or not to expose anybody really, but just for people to kind of feel like, okay, I can relate, because what just happened to me is something that I wish would happen on nobody. And as I'm looking for the manga to, okay, fine, I found it. As I'm looking for the manga to use as my prop here, what just happened to me was one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever happened to me in anything, no matter whether that's because I'm a big tech guy. So no matter what's happened with me ordering stuff like computer monitors, computer parts, computers, like there's just phones, gadgets, all kinds of stuff that I've ordered, stuff for the house, stuff for our upcoming baby, even though there's been some stuff that has kind of gone awry there as well. But one of the things that happened with this most recent haul I was trying to do is something that I've never had happen before. And I really, to this day, is still trying to get sorted out. So hopefully Crunchyroll reaches out to me soon, because I know the post office will not. And we'll get into that as I continue talking about what happened. So essentially what happened is I made a video about, maybe, I don't know when this video is going to come out, but before this video, I made a video buying your recommendations. So essentially what I did was I went through my YouTube comments through a lot of my videos, and I wrote down some recommendations of what I felt like I would read the most and enjoy the most. Out of the recommendations I wrote down, I went ahead and bought. And I mean, you saw me check out, just about check out and everything. I pulled it up to the point where I was at my cart. Shortly after that video, I ordered it. And it was said it was like supposed to get, I think I did that video on like a Sunday, maybe it was a Monday. I don't know when I did the video, but it was saying it was supposed to be there Saturday. And the Saturday came, well, actually I wouldn't say the Saturday came, it came a day early. So it came on a Friday. And out of 14 volumes of manga, maybe it was 15 volumes of manga, I went to my front door and my Ring camera went off. I went to my front door, opened the door, and saw the box. Sizable box, but makes sense. Opened the box. First of all, I picked it up and it was very light, very light. So I knew something was wrong there. But there are a lot of times, I wouldn't say for some reason, it makes sense. They'll break up the box, they'll break up the manga, and sometimes it'll only be like one. So I was like, maybe they put one in the parcel because I'm in a newer neighborhood, so they don't put mailboxes in front of houses anymore because the mail people just want to go to the thing. And I was like, okay, maybe they put it in a parcel. So I just took what I had, opened the box. This is it. Out of 15 volumes of manga, this is all I got. Astra in space. Astra Lost in Space. And that's where my package must have went. It must have got lost in space. Because all I had was this and a note, which I'll show you a picture of. I might even threw it away. But I know I took a picture of it because I had to send it to Crunchyroll and I had to send it to the post office so they know. But basically, if you cannot read it, because I'm not going to leave it up there long, but basically what it said was, hey, sometimes packages get damaged and, and we're sorry. Basically. And it was like, call this number. That was kind of it. There was no instruction. It said it was damaged by a machine. Didn't really, and that was a stamp. And mind you, this letter wasn't a handwritten letter. It was like a photocopied letter from something else. It wasn't even like a freshly printed document. It was like a photocopy of a different letter saying that happened with a stamp on it that says damaged by machine. And so Mind you, this is Friday, so I really couldn't imagine what I would have done if I got it Saturday because, of course, post office hours, I don't think they have hours on Saturdays. I don't remember. I could be misremembering that. But, and then obviously, Crunchyroll business hours isn't on a weekend either, even though, I mean, I still haven't heard from them. But like I said, they said that it will take a little bit of time, so that they have to investigate, so I get it. But essentially, it gave me this number to call. First of all, it's nearly impossible to get in contact with a person using that automation system. There's nothing in there that indicates you have to speak to a representative. Nothing at all. And that was just very difficult to deal with, just because of the fact that I was like, how it basically the package showed as delivered to them, because if you look at the tracking number, it's going to say delivered every time. The problem was, yes, it was delivered, but I got this instead of the other 14 things I was supposed to get. So it was just really hard to prove to this automated system that I didn't receive what I was supposed to receive. So I don't even remember what I did, because at that point I was getting frustrated. I don't even remember what I did, but at some point, maybe I just kept saying representative anytime I asked me something, but somehow I ended up getting in contact with a person. And essentially, all they did was say, file a claim. That was it. File a claim and we'll send it to your local post office. And that was kind of it. There was really nothing much to it. There was no explanation of where my package went. There was no explanation of what to do. It was just file a claim. So I filed a claim. And just so happened, I believe the next day, early in the morning, I got a call, U.S. government. Now, mind you, you don't want to wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning and see a U.S. government calling you, but they did. And I answered, it was the post office. And essentially, they kind of asked me a lot of the same questions of like, hey, what happened? Do you know where your package is? Could it be in your parcel? Could it be here? Could it be there? I was like, no, I've literally checked everywhere. It's nowhere. And they didn't want to really give me an explanation except, hey, sorry, this happens. We're going to want you to file another claim. And they were really quick to kind of brush it off and say, this has anything to do with me. This is above my pay grade. The guy literally said something about like that. It was like, this is above me. They wanted me to file another claim of a missing mail claim. So there's a centralized area. And for Georgia, it's Atlanta, which I guess makes sense. But anything getting sent to Atlanta, it just doesn't sound good to me, because Atlanta's not, you know what I mean. But anyway, it's just a busy city, so much going on. I feel like at that point it's lost. However, they said it's not lost. It can be found. So they told me to file a claim again. And this claim was going to go it was like a missing mail report claim. So I filed this claim. Well, I put in the information to file a claim. So mind you, what I had to do was put in like the package, put in what I'm missing, and I had to describe every single book that was supposed to be in there, give an author, title, package gets damaged, and like books are scattered all over the place, or whatever the case may be. They'll take the books, for some reason, they'll take the books. I have a lot of books on this table. Anyway, they'll take the books and just place them somewhere. That's kind of what I was told. So if you describe what the book is and where it can, like the title and what it looks like, they told me there was a high chance it would be found. There's a very high chance. Problem with this is, I had someone tell me to make the claim. You cannot make the claim until 7 days after the initial mailing date. So the day Crunchyroll sent off the package, I have to wait 7 days after that to even file the claim. Why? I guess it's because sometimes stuff gets lost in the mail and they'll end up delivering it to you. But my problem with that is that with a purchase like this, me getting my package, on time, all the records indicate that I got my package on time. And really even ahead of time. Because like I said, I was supposed to have it Saturday, got it Friday. There's just nothing I can do. Like, for example, it's going to seem like I waited, the last minute to complain about my pack. Now, luckily, there is a paper trail. Like, I've been getting emails like, oh, you complained here and you just said this and you did that. So it works, and maybe it's just not going to go as bad as I think. But for me, personally, I feel like I'm just about to be out the money. Sounds very unfortunate, because another part that I actually forgot about was they were telling me, my local post office was telling me, well, it always happens. First of all, that's not a good sign, saying it always happens. But they were saying, oh, it always happens. You just file this claim, put in what the books look like, they'll recover. It has a high recovery rate. But there was no indication or nothing, no topic about what if my books aren't found. So the process it took for me to work to even get that answer, I would have to go through it again if my books were never found. But luckily I thought, because sometimes I forget to think about stuff like that, especially when I'm frustrated, I was like, well, what happens if I don't what happens if I don't get anything back? And basically they were like, you have to file an insurance claim. Luckily you got it through priority mail, so it does come with insurance up to $100. What I ordered, as you saw in that video, was not $100. It was $150. And in fact, I added a couple of more stuff after that. So really it was $180. And I told him what would happen if what I ordered was over $100. So what happens there? And he didn't really have an answer for me. It was more so along the lines of, well, it just depends on how they view the pricing of, the stuff you got. And that to me is just the most backwards thing I ever heard. Now, it could be this person not explaining the rules to me thoroughly. It could just be a lot of stuff. But it just did not sound promising, saying it just depends on how they value my stuff. Yes, I'm hoping that the evaluation process is them looking up each book and being like, oh, okay, it costs this much. Here's a check or whatever. Once again, I just feel like I'm going to be out the money. I haven't heard back from Crunchyroll yet. They said they have a lot of, people reaching out to their customer service. So I'm cool with that, I guess. I have to be. But in the end, I feel as though I'm going to be out the money. And that's the unfortunate part of it. $180 is a lot. I guess that's the risk you run out of, ordering stuff online in general, no matter where you order it from. I will say, for example, we ordered something for our daughter, our future daughter, and Amazon sent the wrong thing, straight up wrong thing. It wasn't even close. It's not like what they sent was the right thing but broken. They just legit sent the wrong thing. And so that process was really easy. I just went in there. You sent me the wrong thing. They're like, okay, we'll send it back. It's not the same with buying manga. It's not the same maybe with other stuff as well. There's no, hey, I just didn't get my stuff. Because Crunchyroll more than likely is going to talk to USPS. USPS is not really going to have much, and USPS is United States Postal Service. They're really going to not try to give any money. They're not going to try to give any refund. I'm telling you right now, they're going to work their butt off to make sure they don't have to give up any money. My only hope is that Crunchyroll has insurance on their own packaging. And so therefore, I can either get reimbursed or the books. And honestly, even in my call, I was like, look, I don't even care if I get the money back. Just send me the books. If you have to resend out the books I bought, then that is fine with me. We do not have to sit here and worry about taking 10 business days for the money to come back to my account or talking to USPS. No, if you can literally just send me my books, just send me a new shipment of books that I ordered, I will perfectly be fine with that. That's all I want. But that is part of the dark side of manga. I've also had other, shipping stories. And I know other people, I think, feel like I have this problem too. And I feel like I'm just ranting here. But other people have had problems where they're not scanned properly. So, I believe, when you order from Crunchyroll, say it's coming from Iowa because, they bought right stuff. So, it'll say it's coming from Iowa. And then you'll never see an update again. Sometimes I won't even get the update until it's at my house because it's not scanned, through the postal service. And that's not necessarily a problem per se, but it is just difficult to just be sure you're getting what you're getting. And it also, like I said, and just including the process, I get mistakes happen, but some of these places, whether it's the post office, whether it's where you buy from, and right now I've had no issues with Crunchyroll, but some of these places make it so difficult to correct a wrong, to right a wrong, that it's just hard. It's work. It's in some cases you may just be willing to lose the money. Now I'm not willing to lose the money. I'm going to keep fighting. I'll keep y'all updated, but in some cases it's like I'd just rather lose the money, depending on what you bought and how much of it, of course, because they just make it so difficult. And I feel like they make it so difficult and hope you give up. And it's unfortunate because Crunchyroll is a place that I like ordering from, right stuff, whatever you want to call it. I like ordering it from. I have the discount. I have a membership, all these things. and it's just easy. It's just really easy. Barnes and Noble, I think it's cool ordering them from them. Sometimes the prices still can be a little high, not necessarily high as in like it's just way too expensive, but it's just me being cheap. Maybe why pay $9.99 and at Crunchyroll I could pay $7.99 or $6.99 or whatever the case may be. So it's just stuff like that. Even though I have a membership at Barnes and Noble, and I think they take down the price a little bit, but still, it just Crunchyroll has just been easier, and that's really it. I'm not gonna sit here and blame Crunchyroll. I'm kind of gonna blame the U.S. Post Office and just how the system is designed. And like I said, I could be completely wrong about this. I could have a bunch of mail people come people who work in the mail industry and come here and tell me everything I said was wrong. Fine. This is just what was relayed to me from the people who work there. And I am on record for saying in the place where I stay, a lot of customer service places, whether that's the food industry, clothes, post office, kind of suck. And I don't know if it's because of the people or what. So I'm not going to sit here and just blame a whole industry like that, blame a whole, entity, I guess, of the post office. But that's just how it was explained to me. It could be very wrong. I mean, the guy sounded scattered. He didn't know who I was, as far as like I gave him my tracking number, gave him my address, gave him everything, and he still kept like he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm multitasking." And I was like, "Dude, just either stop what you're doing, or I told him, I was like, hey, if you have other stuff to do, you could just leave me here, like on hold, don't hang up, because it's gonna be impossible to get back in contact with you. Just leave me here, finish what you were doing, and then, but you called me, and you weren't ready, so." It was just a lot of stuff that didn't make sense. Like any collecting hobby, you're gonna run into scalpers, you're gonna all kinds of stuff. You're going to run into that, into the manga industry. But like I just said, just keep doing what you do, and keep just enjoying the process. Sometimes it does suck that you may not get something right away, but the process of getting it, you look back on it, and every time you see that book on your shelf, it tells a story. Maybe not this because he's bleeding, but you get the point. You get the point. Maybe a more wholesome book. Yeah. Every time you look at it, you're gonna remember the story, and maybe that makes you feel triumphant. Maybe it makes you angry. I don't know. For me, it probably makes me angry. But there are times I look at some of the stuff I got, I'm like, wow, I remember when I first got that. So just look at it that way. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.